Hey y'all, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. This is the vlog for the last Final Book Support Group readathon for 2022. If you are not familiar, the Final Book Support Group is hosted by Steph over at Steph Loves, and basically it's all about completing series. And I have a TBR, a rather ambitious TBR, for this week-long readathon, which started today. Today is Monday, November 21st. So I'm going to go ahead and just take you through what I am planning on reading, or at least attempting to read, because it's very ambitious. So first of all, I am listening to the audio of Greywaren by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the final book in the Dreamer trilogy, which is the sequel series to the Raven cycle, if you're not familiar, although I'm pretty sure everyone is. So listening to this one, I am currently on chapter 16, which is page 116. So this will be the audiobook that I am working on throughout the week. If I finish it in a timely enough fashion, I do have an audiobook version of another book that I'm wanting to read, so I could potentially like jump between the print and the audio. So the next book I have is House of Many Ways by Diana Wynne Jones. This is the third and final book in the Howl's Moving Castle series. It's actually got a different name, but that's what I call it. So that's that. I'm actually going to start reading this one today. It is not a very long book. It has 328 pages, so I have split it in half, so I'm hoping to get half of it read today, which would put me at page 169. So that is the goal for today. I would like to go ahead and get half of this read and then finish this one off tomorrow. Another book that I have is Sword and Pen by Rachel Caine. This is the fifth and final book in her Great Library series, which is like a dystopian take on the Library of Alexandria. Just, you know, to keep it succinct, there's more going on than that, but this is the final book in that series. This one is long. It has kind of small text, so I'm thinking this one could potentially take a little while, but the previous books in the series have read pretty quickly, so I'm hoping I can get through this one decently fast. I'm going to split this one into quarters, so I'll tab it out in just a minute and focus on that for this one, and hope that I can get through this one in a couple of days, because I also have Kingdom of Ashes by Rhiannon Thomas, which is the second and final book in her Wicked Thing duology. I have that on ebook, which I also want to read. And I have Extraordinary by Nancy Werlin, which is the second book in her Impossible series, which is a fairy series. So I've got that one as well. I've started that one. I'm reading that one on my Kindle. I'm thinking that one I'm just going to do like 10% each of the days of the readathon, because that will get me through the book by the end of the readathon. I am currently a little bit under 30% of the way through with that. And that's that. I did pick up another book from the library. Let me grab it. And this one is another final book in a duology. It is The Hollow Heart by Marie Rutkowski. The first book in this series was called The Midnight Lie, I believe. I read it last year. I really enjoy Marie Rutkowski's writing, although I didn't love her adult debut very much, just saying. But I really liked her like fantasy-based books, and this is fantasy. So if I have time, I will start this one as well. But we've got a lot to try to get through, so we're gonna go ahead and just see how I do with this readathon. So that is my somewhat ambitious TBR. I feel like I can get it done because I am off work this entire week for Thanksgiving break. Hooray. So yeah, we'll just play it by ear. I know that this one's going to be a quick read, but this one's a little chunky. Extraordinary is kind of long. So we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. But yes, that's where we are for this readathon. I'm just going to bring you along throughout the week. Quick side note, my family has already celebrated Thanksgiving because my brother works on Thanksgiving. So we actually did our Thanksgiving meal yesterday. So this is just going to be a very low-key, chill vlog. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get on to reading. Also, you can see my wheel behind me right here. I am going to be redoing my TBR game, which was Wheel of TBR, but I used like a spinner wheel online. I've since invested in an actual wheel, so something else you'll see me doing is designing the little center piece right here. And yeah, that's about all I've got on the agenda for today. So enough talking, let's go ahead and get to it. Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. It's 2:45. I've been up for quite a while at this point. I got up, changed the sheets on my bed, took a shower, folded laundry, all while I was listening to Greywaren on audio. And then I turned on the sprints that are going right now behind me, if you can see right there, on Steph's channel. So I have been reading while I do other things. So I did finish House of Many Ways by Diana Wynne Jones. Now, this series is technically like a series of standalone-ish books, but they are funnier if you read them in order. Particularly with this one, I would highly recommend reading Howl's Moving Castle first, because there's a lot of like little shout outs to the first book. You already know how Howl and Sophie function, what their past has been, that kind of stuff, which makes this book even more funny. But I did enjoy this. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was laugh out loud funny in a lot of different parts. There's a lot of action and adventure. Howl is, once again, a ridiculous little character. He just does the craziest stuff. And I did really enjoy Charmaine and Peter, who are like the 2 main characters in this book. So Charmaine is tasked with staying at her great uncle's house while he is receiving like medical treatment. Her great uncle is a magician, and so she kind of gets roped into this scheme involving the king and stuff like that. So very funny. Definitely enjoyed. Glad this one's done. This is another series off my 22 series to finish in 2022 list that I can check off. So hooray for that. This one's done. I also listened to like 60 pages of Greywaren by Maggie Stiefvater, which is the 3rd and final book in the Dreamer trilogy, as I mentioned yesterday. I'm going to go ahead actually and put right here a recap of yesterday's reading progress. So I read from 3 different books and read a good total number of pages, as you can see. So today we'll hope that I can do the same. So this one's done. I'm going to read another 10-ish% of Extraordinary by Nancy Werlin. I'm not loving that one as much. I feel like the writing is a little basic, and I don't mean that like in a bad way, but I just mean that compared to other authors that I've read from, she doesn't have like the flowery prose, and I don't get the same like atmospheric feeling from her, but that could change because I think we're about to get into like the fairy world, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's what I'm going to do next. Now, you saw I was working on my new updated Wheel of TBR game for next year. So yesterday I went through and I typed up all the prompts onto little cards on PowerPoint. I'm going to go ahead and scroll that through here so you can kind of take a look. I basically designed what I wanted the game to look like, and then you just saw I was cutting out the prompts. I've put them in this pouch so you can see through it, but I figure when I'm reaching in, I will just make sure that the side that does not have the words is facing me so I can't see what the prompt is going to be. But yes, that is done. I've got Velcro on the back of them. So this was a task that I was wanting to get finished just because I knew I had this nice chunk of time to do that. And this was a kind of mindless task that I could do while listening to an audiobook. So hooray, this is done. I also went through a pile of books that has been sitting, and I pulled out the ones that I'm going to on haul. I think I'm going to go put them in a little free library. There are several of them around. So let me show you what I'm not going to be reading. So here's the stack. I have read most of these. So the first one I'm going to unhaul is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I liked this fine. I'm just not ever going to reread it, and I don't need to keep it. I know that she's a favorite author of a lot of people, so I'll put this out where hopefully someone else can enjoy it. I also am going to declutter Hide by Kirsten White. This was not a favorite, and there is absolutely no reason for me to keep this, so that one's gonna go. I also DNF'd Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, so obviously I'm going to declutter this one, even though it is a book of the month, and I've got the rest of them on a shelf. I don't need to keep this because I'm never going to finish reading it. And then I've got Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. This is another book that I liked decently. I gave it 3.5 stars. I do want to read the sequel when it comes out, but this isn't something I'm going to want to reread, and I'm not going to purchase the second book. I'm just going to get it like from the library. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one as well. Then I have two that I have not actually read. So the first one is No Drama Discipline. I thought this was more about like for teachers, but this is actually more of like a parenting book. Don't really want to read that. And then I bought this one on pre-order, y'all, Husband Material. I read Boyfriend Material earlier this year, really enjoyed it. But I started seeing some reviews and things on this one in particular, and I can tell that I am not going to like this. So basically there's no growth, I guess, for the main character Luke in this book, and that's not what I want to read about. I feel like this was written just because Alexis Hall knew they could make money. I hate to say that, but like they knew that people really liked Boyfriend Material, and so this was like something that a lot of people pre-ordered, including myself. But reading the reviews, it's got really bad reviews, and I'm just not in the mindset for that. Plus, I just saw that there's going to be a third one, and y'all, I can't do it. So I'm going to get rid of this one as well, even though I've not even read it, because I would rather have room on my shelves for things that I am going to read. So those are the 6 books that I am going to unhaul into the little free libraries around the area, and hopefully someone else will enjoy them, because that someone is not me. But yes. I also did some cleaning while I was listening. So I had some piles of stuff just laying around that I finally went through and cleaned up, and I feel very accomplished. So after I stop chatting with you, I'm going to go ahead and do the 10% of Extraordinary, just to kind of check that off my to-do list. And then I think I want to play around with putting together my list of books that I want to read for next year. So my 23 books to read in 2023, and then my series books that I want to finish next year. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to talk about that here because I'm going to film a whole video on those. But I want to start brainstorming and putting some ideas together. So I've actually started writing some things down already, and we'll kind of solidify those choices a little bit more. So that's that. That's enough chatting. Let's go ahead, tackle the next 10-ish% of Extraordinary, and then we'll see what else I get up to. Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. It's 4:34. I thought I'd go ahead and come on and give you a reading update from yesterday. So here's what I accomplished yesterday. I did finish one book, as I'd mentioned, so yay, I have 3 more to go in order to reach my goal. So let's talk about what I have been reading so far today. So I did listen to several more chapters of Greywaren. I am currently on page 262, which is chapter 40. So I only have this little bit left. My guess is I will probably finish this tomorrow. So that will be book number 2. I also started listening to Sword and Pen by Rachel Caine. I am on chapter 5, I think. Let me see. Yeah, chapter 5, and I've read up to page 94. So I'm going to finish off chapter 5, and then I think I might just go ahead and call it quits with reading for today. We will see. So I'll just read this little piece right here, which would get me to page 108, because I kind of just want to not do any reading. So I have 3 more episodes of Unsolved Mysteries to watch from like the newest season that just came out. So I would kind of like to just chill and do that. Now, I did go to Target, as you saw. I also went to the library to pick up 2 books for my December TBR. So I will take you through that and give you a little haul. So first we'll start with the library books. I picked up The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. This is on my 22 books to read in 2022. And it is also my buzzword pick for December because that one is number in the title, so 10,000. And then I also picked up The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. I attempted to read this earlier in the year, just really wasn't feeling it. I was not in a fantasy mood, so had sent it back to the library, but now I have it back out because this is also on my 22 books to read in 2022 list, and I need to get it done. So those are the 2 books that I picked up from the library. And then at Target, I did a little holiday haul, I guess for lack of a better word. So I found this little tree. This was in their Bullseye's Playground, and it lights up, which I think is really cute. So I'm going to replace my little fox dude right here with a tree for December. So that's kind of going to be some Christmas decor. And then the other thing I picked up that is decor is a new garland. So you can see like the palm garland behind me. I picked up a holiday one. So it's got jingle bells and little white puffs. So that will replace that one with something a little holiday-like. And then I think that's all that I got holiday-wise. I also found a cute little mug. They had like a whole display. And so I picked up a mug with my first initial on it. M always seems to like disappear. So I saw that they just put this display out. My guess is for like Black Friday. And so I jumped on that because I thought that was really cute. And then I picked up a book because of course I did. This one is called The War Girls. I'll show you the spine. Because there's a sticker over the title. This one has to do with World War II, and I'm a sucker for books that deal with World War II. This one sounded really interesting, so picked that up as well. I've got like a whole bunch of them that I need to read, but saw this one, couldn't resist, picked that up. And then I also picked up a sweater, which is a green version of one that I'd already picked up, which was like a peachy color, but this one is green, if you can see. It's got like some greens, some blues, some whites, but yeah, I really like the peach one that I got, so I went ahead and picked the green one up as well because they were 30% off. So picked those up. That's my little Target haul. Yay for that. And that's all I've got for you. So I think that's it, y'all. I probably will do a little bit more reading on Extraordinary because I am trying to do like 10% each night to get through that one. And I'm currently on, I think, 45%. So I'll read to like 55% and then we'll just call it quits with reading for tonight and pick it back up tomorrow because I'm not really feeling like reading anything else right now. So yeah, that's where we are. I'll chat with you again, obviously, with a final reading update for today, Wednesday, and do my little graphic. So yeah, I'll see you then. Hey y'all, happy Thursday, happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. My family has already done our Thanksgiving celebration. We did it on Sunday as my brother has to work today. So I just have been chilling out, and I just finished listening to Greywaren by Maggie Stiefvater. I'm going to give this one 3.5 stars. Upon thinking about this trilogy as a whole, I came to the conclusion that I wish it hadn't been written. It's not nearly as good as The Raven Cycle, and while there were things that I liked in all 3 books, I liked the first one the best. I did not like the final 2 as much. I was not a huge fan of several of the characters in this new trilogy. And I guess when I'd heard that it was a story focused on Ronan, I was thinking Ronan and some of the same characters that we'd seen and came to love in the Raven Cycle, and that's not what happens in here. So this book was fine. The ending, the last several chapters, kind of redeemed it. For the vast majority of this book, Ronan is not like physically present. So we get chapters from his point of view, but he's not like physically doing anything. He's dreaming. I'll just tell, so that kind of cut into my enjoyment quite a bit. There's also a character named Carmen who we meet in book 2. Is it book 2? I don't remember. I didn't love her. Started to like her more in this book, but she was not my favorite. Hennessy got on my nerves a lot. So there were just things about this series that I did not enjoy nearly as much as the original trilogy, and I'm really hoping, honestly, that she leaves this series alone. Like, I hope that this is the final book that she writes in this world, because I'm kind of afraid to see what she's going to do to it if she continues to write anything else. The one thing I did really enjoy about this series is getting to know Declan, Ronan's older brother. He is a point of view character in all 3 of the books, so I enjoyed getting to know him, because when you are introduced to him in the Raven Cycle, he's very much like a womanizer and kind of a caricature. There we go. And in this series, he becomes a lot more fully fleshed out, and you understand where he comes from. So that's the one thing I did like. But yeah, 3.5 stars. It was fine. There were things I liked, things I did not like. And now this is another series crossed off my list to read. This was not a series on my 22 series to finish in 2022 list, but it is another series done. So that's where we are. Let me go ahead. Here's the stats from yesterday, just so you can take a look. This now brings it up to 2 books finished, so I will update that for tomorrow's graphic. Now let's chat about what I'm going to do today. So I have 2 YouTube videos to film, and then I'm going to work on getting to the next, the halfway point of Sword and Pen, which I've been reading. I started yesterday, so that is kind of the goal. I'll also do another 10-ish% on Extraordinary, which should put me at 70%. I might read to 75. We'll see. That book is not my favorite, but I want to go ahead and finish it. There's nothing really wrong with it. I'm just not super engaged. So that's where we are. 1 more book finished, 3 more to go. So, oh, that is the other thing. So now that I finished the audio of this, I am going to start listening to Kingdom of Ashes by Rhiannon Thomas. That is the only book that was on my Final Book Support Group TBR that I have not started. So I'm hoping that I can go ahead and listen to the audio of that. And then once I get maybe another book done, do some physical reading. But I'm hoping I can still get the 2 in-progress books and this 3rd one done by the end of this readathon. So we will see. Yeah, that's what I've got going on, y'all. So I will chat with you later when I have something else to say. y'all, happy Saturday. I did not chat at all yesterday. I just kind of took it easy. I did do some reading, so let me go ahead. I will put Thursday's graphic up first because I haven't shared that. So I did finish Extraordinary. I just went ahead and finished it up. Admittedly, I skimmed a good portion of like the middle because it was dragging a lot. In the end, I gave it 2 stars, which might be a little generous if I'm being honest. The writing was just very choppy. I never felt connected to the story or the characters, and it got to the point where I was kind of fed up with like what was going on and just wanted the book to be done. So it's done. I gave it 2 stars. I am still going to read the 3rd in the series because they're like standalones. They're not really like connected stories necessarily. So I feel like since I liked the first one so much, the second one may have just been a dud. And it does have quite a low rating on Goodreads. It's like a 3.2 or something like that. But the 3rd book has higher ratings. So I'm hoping that it will be better. So I am going to read that one in December and cross that series off. Now, here is my reading stats from yesterday, Friday. I really didn't do a whole lot of reading. The only thing I was working on was Sword and Pen by Rachel Caine. So I got to like the 3/4 mark. I am almost done with this, actually. I am currently on chapter 20, which is page 328. And there are only 354 pages. So I've just got this little tiny piece right here. So I am going to finish that pretty quickly today and then possibly start Kingdom of Ashes, which I still have not started. So that one I'm not going to get done. I'm not stressing about it because ultimately I still have 3 days in the month after this readathon ends. So I have plenty of time to finish the book. So that's where we are. I'm going to finish this one. I'll come back on and kind of chat about the series as a whole. This took a little bit for me to like really get engaged, but now it's like very, very fast paced. The whole book was very fast paced, but like the last half in particular has been incredibly fast paced, and I'm very curious to see how everything's going to wrap up. So I will be finishing that. As you saw, I did go and get coffee from a little local coffee shop. I'll show you their little logo right here. So they are just a little locally owned coffee shop, and I hadn't been in a while, and when I saw that they were actually open today until 2, I decided I would go ahead and get a coffee. This is a gingerbread latte. I had it in a different Java Suck. That was the only one I had in my car, but this is like a better fit for this size. So I've got this. I also was incredibly lazy and picked up a personal pan pizza from Quick Trip to have for lunch because I just don't feel like doing anything right now. So I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna finish this book, and then I will come back on and chat with you and let you know what else is going on because I did get some book mail yesterday, but we will share that after I eat lunch. Hello y'all, it's a few hours later. It's 3:23. I did finish Sword and Pen. I'm giving this 5 stars. This was a really, really good conclusion to this series. Like, I have no complaints about any of it. This book is very action-packed, but it's also very emotionally driven on the parts of the characters. Like, the characters really are stretched to their limits in this final installment, and they just keep pushing past it because they know what they're doing is the right thing, and that's really wonderful to read about. The last chapter or so made me cry. Everything about this was really, really good. I would highly recommend this series if you have not checked out at least the first book. I gave all of them 4 stars until this one, which I'm giving 5 stars because it was really, really good. So yes, this was a winner. This is actually my first 5-star read of the month of November. So yay, I finally got a 5-star, but this book was really, really good. Cannot say enough about the series, but I don't want to spoil it, so just go read the synopsis for the first book if you're at all curious, but I would definitely recommend. So this one's done. That means I just have Kingdom of Ashes left to read from my final book support group TBR. So I will probably start that one a little bit later today. I do have an ebook version of it, so I'll just read a little bit of it on my Kindle, and then I will listen to the audio as well the next 4 days and get it finished before the end of the month. So yes, that is that. So let's talk about the little book mail that I got, I mentioned. So I put in an order to pick up some of the books from my 23 books in 2023 list, which I have put together, but I'm not telling you about yet, although you're getting like a little bit of a sneak peek. So the first one I picked up was The Love Hypothesis. However, when this one shipped, as you can see, the spine got crushed, so I have reordered it and they're sending me a replacement, and I just need to ship this one back. So that one is coming, it's supposed to be here Monday, so I'll be able to send that back and get one that's hopefully not banged up. And the one that made it without being banged up, thankfully, was A Countess Below Stairs. This is by Eva Ibbotson. My friend loaned me this book a really long time ago. Like, I'm not even going to go into how long ago. A really long time ago. I have no idea where her copy went. It's in a box somewhere. I will one day return it to her, but I went ahead and purchased my own copy so that I can read this one. This has been on my want to read list for a very long time, since January of 2012. So that's why I have put it on the list to finally cross off this year. But I did pick up my own copy. Once I locate her copy, I will give it back. But the library does not have this book, and I just figured I'd go ahead and buy it. It was not very expensive. It was actually marked down, I think, probably because it's a much older title. This book came out... This book actually was copyrighted in 1981, but I want to say that this version of it came out in like the mid 2000s, maybe. I really can't remember, but yes, picked that up. Looking forward to reading this one. Historical fiction is my jam. I really enjoy it. So those are the two that I picked up. So you now know 2 of the 23 titles on my 23 and 2023 list. But yes, that is my little book mail. Now I don't know what I'm really going to get up to. I might just watch some TV, chill out a little bit, maybe check and see if there's any YouTube videos to watch. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to do today, y'all. I am trying to just enjoy the last 2 days of my break without having to really get up to too terribly much. Tomorrow I do need to go grocery shopping, and that's it, I think. So yeah, gonna be a very low-key last 2 days of this vlog, but that's what I've got for you. So I will film if I get up to anything interesting. If not, I will check in with you tomorrow. Hello everyone, happy Sunday. It's 2:19. I just got home from grocery shopping. I'm back to work tomorrow, so had to go replenish my groceries. I did stop at Starbucks and I picked up another pumpkin cream cold brew because I'm not sure how much longer they're gonna have these, and they are by far my favorite drink from them. So since I was out, I grabbed that. Now I'm going to eat some lunch. It's a little late, but I really wasn't hungry. Yesterday I wasn't feeling the best, but I did get some reading done. So here's the stats for yesterday. I did join Cassidy's sprints, just the first one, and did a little bit of reading on Kingdom of Ashes. So I also listened to that this morning. So I'm currently at 30% in that. I'm not going to finish by today, but as I'd mentioned, I'm not super stressed about that. I just am going to read a little bit more today, maybe get halfway. We'll kind of see how I'm feeling. I'm liking it so far. It's fine. Nothing really has happened as of yet. There's still a lot of questions that you need to have answered. So it's just really setting the story up. But we'll see. I might do a little bit of reading. I know that Cassidy is doing sprints again tonight, so I might join in on those just for a little while. I also am thinking about possibly watching something on Netflix, something on my watch list that I've had on there forever. I don't know. We'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. But yes, that is kind of the agenda for today. It's my last day of Thanksgiving break, so I do just want to take it easy and chill out a little bit. So I will bring you along, let you know what I get up to, and before I end the vlog, I will come on and do the last day's reading stats. So I will talk to you later. Hello everyone. It is now Monday morning, which means the final book support group readathon has come to a close. Here is my final stats for the readathon. I wound up not reading anymore after the 15% that I did yesterday. Instead, I decided to watch two things off of my Netflix list and kind of cross those off. So I watched two documentaries. One was on the Cecil Hotel and the other was on the nuclear reactor core melt at 3 Mile Island. So cross those off. They were each 4 episodes and decently entertaining. I liked the Cecil Hotel one better, but you know, they were both fine. So anyway, since it is Monday, that means I am officially on here to close out this vlog. I am getting ready to head to work. It's 7:54. So yeah, this is going to be the end of a very long vlog. Hopefully you stayed with me until the end. If you did, thank you very much. But yeah, I am going to do some more reading vlogs during the month of December as I work my way through the remaining books on my 22 and 2022 list. So stay tuned for those, but otherwise, that's about all I've got for you. So if you enjoyed this vlog, please do leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.